in this class, we're going to do something very different than what I teach normally. But this class was developed by me during my brain injury. I needed to do something different because I couldn't do my regular practice of vinyasa flow. So I combine a sort of a restorative class, but also I wanted to gain some strength as well. I didn't want to lose my physicality and the muscle mass and all of that. And so I developed this class to help me recover from my brain injury. And it turns out it became a really successful type of yoga class, and people loved it, especially my elders and anybody that had maybe some kind of injuries or were just even starting out yoga, or people who had really stressful lives. They just loved that class because it just restored their nervous system. People with PTSD, which I had as well. When you have a brain injury, you pretty much have everything. You experience a lot of dysfunction in the brain and difficulty to cope with life. So I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you on the mat. So you're going to need a bunch of props for this class. You'll need your mat, of course. Make sure you have a bolster. You may need a two bolster is even. The bolster that I use is a long bolster. It's a round, long bolster. I don't favor the rectangular, more chubby type of bolster, but it's a personal preference. For me, this one works. You'll need also two blankets, the thick one, the real blankets, the yoga blankets that are mostly wool, and then two blocks, and also have your strap ready, although we're not going to use it in this class. Okay? So let's come seated onto your bolster. Come seated onto your bolster against the wall. So make sure you have all your props. This is really important for this class because we're going to use bolster, blocks, a blanket. You may need two blankets, two layers of blanket, and a strap possibly as well. So bring yourself into seated position with your soles of feet together. And then make sure your spine is nice and long against the wall with the head resting back. And we start breathing in and out of our diaphragm, breathing through the nose only. We don't breathe through the mouth at all. Close your eyes and just let the breath carry you inside a little deeper with every inhale and every exhale. Expanding the belly as you inhale and exhaling, just releasing it. So try to breathe in your abdomen and not in your chest. Making the hissing sound at the throat, and just relax the mind. Just listen to your breath a little bit more with every inhale you take, every exhale you release. Letting yourself be here. Don't think about anything but yourself. Good. We're going to sweep the right arm out to the side against the wall or as close to the wall as you can, and then sweep it up all the way up towards the wall. The back of the hand is touching the wall. If you can, if you have shoulder issue, just hang out nearby the wall. Breathe in and breathe out. Relax that right shoulder down. This entire session is very slow and steady. It's all about passive stretches. We apply a little bit of tension, and then we breathe deeply. Good. We'll take one more breath with the arm up. And then inhale and then move the arm alongside the wall as best you can. Right, I have a shoulder issue here, so I can't move my arm exactly completely against the wall. And then releasing onto your hand again. And inhale, we'll go the other way. Sweep the arm against the wall as best you can until it comes straight up alongside your ear. Breathing in. Breathing out, relax the left shoulder down. Just suspending yourself, allowing the breath to be the movement within you, right? We're going to stay static with every posture that we're going to do for a few breaths. Nice deep inhale and deep exhale. Take one last. And then inhale, we'll move the arm alongside the wall and down, all the way down until bring your hand onto your knee again. Relaxing. Enjoying the release after the effort. So yeah, each posture will have a little bit of effort and will be slightly demanding. Good. We're going to start leaning forward. So walk your hands onto the floor, forward, and with a nice flat back. Make sure you're not rounding your back to reach forward, right? Keep the chest up. Keep the soles of feet together. Deep breath, inhale. Big exhale, releasing the spine down a little bit more, flattening the palm. Just noticing your body, just where it's just talking to you and telling you, gosh, I'm tight here. I feel a little bit of soreness here or a little bit of stiffness. So remember, we never go into pain in our yoga practice, never. You may feel a dull sensation when you move into your fasciatic tissue or you're stretching. Any sharp pain, like a knife stabbing type of pain, is not allowed and is a no-no. So if you feel that, you want to back off and don't do as far or as much, or do a modification. Or any burning and sizzling sensation, those are not accepted in yoga practice. That means you're injuring yourself or forcing too much or just moving in a way that your body is not ready to do. Breathing in and breathing out. Keep your eyes closed. If you're ready, bend the elbows. And then drop the chest a little closer to the floor. Good. Last two breaths. And then inhale, we'll come back up nice and easy. Good. Let's stay with the, we'll cross the feet here. So cross at the ankles instead of having the soles of feet together. And then slide yourself a little further forward. So you're your knees can touch the ground, right? So you want to slide on the bolster slightly forward. And if you can't touch the ground, you can put a blanket underneath your legs as so. So you're not just struggling. We want to rest those legs on something. So keep the cross, and we're going to turn left. So bring the hand on your bolster behind you, right hand onto your left knee, turn left. We twist from the waist here, tuck the belly slightly, and grow the spine. Just a slight twist, inhaling, exhaling. Gaze sideways, or you can gaze back towards your left shoulder, towards the wall. Letting the tension dissipate slowly. And then inhale, we'll look in front of us and release the spine. Good, let's go to the other side. So left hand on the outside of the right leg, knee, near the knee, and right hand against the bolster behind you. Inhale, again, grow the spine. You may feel the pressure. If you put pressure with the hand against your leg here, you might feel the pressure against the left ribs. Breathe in that side. Keep the spine nice and tall. Couple breath, inhale. Good, last two. Last one. Very nice. Inhale, look in front of you, and then exhale, release your spine. We're going to go back against the wall. So sit all the way back as far as you can. And release the shoulders against the wall, the head against the wall. There might be a little gap with your lower back against from the wall, but that's okay. And then inhale, bring the left shoulder up, shrug it to your ear. Good, exhale, press it back against the wall and release it all the way down. Inhale, right shoulder shrug against the ear. Exhale, press it against the wall and release it down, sliding it onto the wall. Good. We'll do both shoulders now. Inhale, go up, shrug. Exhale, press them back and down. Good. Inhale, shrug. Exhale, back and down. Inhale, up and shrug. Exhale, back and down. Inhale, up, exhale, back and down. Two more with the shoulder shrug. Inhale, up, exhale, back and down. Last one, inhale, exhale. Good, very nice. Keep your legs crossed. We're going to bring the right hand in front of you. Inhale, so lift the arm nice and slow. And then bring it all the way to the wall. Exhale, inhale here. And exhale, we'll release the arm down. Control the movement and all the way to your knee. Other side, left arm goes up in front of you. Inhaling, exhaling, reach the wall. Good, inhale. And exhale, release the arm forward, all the way to your knee. Inhale, both arms up. All the way to the wall, exhale. Inhale deeply. And exhale, release the arms forward together. Nice. All right, we'll release those legs. Let's bring the blocks. Grab both of your blocks And we're going to bring the knees on top of the second height of the block. So you have 3 heights of your block. You have the flat part, you have the medium height, and then the tallest, right? So we'll use the medium height. That should be enough for all of us. And then bring your knees on top. So the legs don't have to be touching together. I like to keep the legs aligned with my femur bones. So there's a slight gap between my feet. Let's take an inhale and we'll sweep the arms up, palms together, nice long spine here. And then exhale, lean with the torso, keep the arms alongside your ears, bring your belly to your thighs, and inhale, let's come back up. Good, exhale. So the torso is the one moving, we're not dropping the arms at all. Inhale up. Go as far forward as you can with a flat back. Exhale. So maybe you stop right here. Maybe you go further. Take another few. Inhale up. Exhale. Reach forward. Inhale. So we're using our core here a little bit. And exhale. Nice. We're going to release right on top of the legs. Make sure you're not hurting with your knees. Grab your blanket. Bundle it up. Thick enough. You may need 2 blankets here. And then bring your arms here and drop your head right on top of the arms or just the blanket. You want the head to rest on something, right? We don't want to be hanging out with the head and neck. I mean, this class is particularly specific for brain injured people with PTSD or some kind of injuries. So we don't want to atrophy the brain by having to hold the head with our neck strength, which frankly, if you have a brain injury, most likely the neck is compromised as well, and actually stiff or fatigued or sometimes just really painful. So breathing in and out. Breathe in the tightness here, and as you feel a little bit more at ease, just let the torso drop and slide forward and down over your legs. Fluid breath the entire time. We're nurturing ourselves. It's all about you today and in this class. We're nurturing our body and just letting wake up slightly without it being too difficult or strenuous. So basically passive stretches. Good. One last breath. Drop yourself a little closer to your legs. Nice. And tuck the belly. We'll roll the spine up. Use your core to pull that spine standing. Nice. And then pause right here for a second. Keep the spine nice and tall. You can close your eyes. Good, real good. We're going to start squeezing the legs straight, so you still have your blocks underneath your knees. If the blocks are too hard on you, use 2 blankets bundled up or add a blanket on top here. So squeezing the legs straight, we're squeezing the quads, we're pushing forward with the heels. And we're staying there. Breathing in through your navel and out through the navel. Close your mouth, breathe through your nose. Keep the feet flexed, right? We're engaging those legs fully. Breathing in, inhaling and exhaling continuously with your hissing sound at the throat. Good. We'll release the legs, nice and easy. Yeah, it's a little bit demanding, even though it seems so easy. All right, crossing the left ankle over the right ankle. The legs are together, kneecaps are side by side. Then bring your hands at the heart center in your namaste and then squeeze the legs straight. So the bottom leg is doing all the work, mostly. Do the best you can. Squeezing that right leg straight, lifting the heels off the mat. Two more breaths. Give it your best. Good. Last one. Slowly release. Very nice. Other side. Let's cross the right ankle over the left. And on your next inhale, squeeze the left leg straight. Breathing in and out for 5 breaths. Nice deep inhale. Last one. And releasing. Really nice. All right, we're going to lean forward again over the legs. This time I'm not going to use my blanket because I can just use my forearms over my shins and relax the head most likely onto my forearms. If this is too low for you, make sure you do bring the blanket so you rest your head onto it. I'm going to actually use a blanket for underneath my legs because it's cutting my legs a little bit. So feel free to do that. The bundle is about the same height as your bolster. And I'm going to lean forward into a seated forward fold. The legs can be a little closer together if you want on this one. Slowly breathing. Resting the body, just letting yourself be here. We're bringing a healing in our body through all these postures and the breath that we perform. But also through your thoughts, right? You want to have either neutral thoughts if things are not happening for you and you're just angry about something. Bring it back into neutrality. And then come to your breath and try to just stay here. Good, let's take an inhale. We'll come back up. Remove your blocks and bolster and blanket. Nice. All right, let's bring the feet flat on the floor. So set up like a Balasana squat. It's a yogic squat. So turn the toes slightly out. You can have your legs, your feet towards the edges of your mat. We're going to bring the elbows against the knees here. And we're staying on the bolster, seated though. So palms together, draw the sternum bone up, a nice tall spine, and then press the elbows into the knees to open the legs a little bit more. Breathe in and breathe out. Smooth, easy breath with your ujjayi sound. So this allows you, this type of breathing allows your nervous system to calm down and slow down the amount of thoughts you may have, and cleansing the nostrils as well, and the air passageway, which it can clear you of any kind of sometimes an infection or sinuses. Let's take another 2 breaths. Lifting, so squeezing the inner thighs into the elbows, yes, squeezing the knees closer, and pretend that you're trying to get off your glutes, off your butt from the bolster, even though we're staying seated. So leaning a little further forward. Good. One last breath. And releasing. Hands to floor. Let's grab your blocks here. You can bring one for each hand. You can use the flat part of the highest part of the block. We're going to come up with the hips. So leaning forward and then lifting the hips into a standing forward fold. Drop the head. Breathing in and out. Drop your chest if you feel like you have room. Make sure you don't round your back so much. Good, very nice. And then walk your feet all the way to against the bolster. We're going to lean back and bring your glute to the wall. There we go. So I had to move my blocks back. I'm still holding on to them. And you feel free to bend the knees as much as is needed for your hamstrings. Otherwise, straighten the knees. Straighten the legs slightly more, lifting the sit bones against the wall. Nice deep breath. Good. And then inhale, roll the spine up. And then come on, standing against the wall. Bring your palms flat against the wall. Try to drop the shoulders back. Again, either gaze in front of you or close your eyes. Open the chest and breathe. So grounding yourself here into the wall, onto the floor. I like to, when I'm out on my hike, I like to choose one big tree trunk. Some of those cedars that sometimes are pretty big, or it's another type of tree that we have here as well, ponderosas. They're the best. They smell super good. They smell like vanilla or butterscotch in the summer, but they're extremely big. So I like to lean against them or grab them and wrap my arms around them. just because you can ground yourself by doing that, and it just gives you strength and removes the magnetic field, the EMF from your body as well, and it just makes you feel good. They are living entities, and they're here to serve us as much as we serve them. All right, let's take one last breath here. Let's bring the arms in front of you. Inhale and sweep straight up all the way until you can touch the wall maybe, or very close. Take another breath. And then exhale, releasing. Good. Let's bring the hands on the waist, on your waistline. Bring the elbows against the wall. We're going to lean and hinge right at the waist here. So my hips and glutes are staying the same against the wall, but I'm going to hinge sideways, so sliding my torso and head against the wall. So you're not going to go very far, and that's fine. Breathe right here. Let's bring the right arm up against the wall if you can, and then over your ear. I have an obstacle here. Big breath. Big exhale. One more. Good. Let's come back. Release the arm at the same time. And then hands to waist. We're going to lean to the other side. Slide yourself. Head against the wall. Repose your entire torso against the wall. The glutes are touching the wall still, or your sacrum. Deep breath. And then we'll slide the left arm against the wall as best you can. And then all the way against your ear. Keep the rest against the wall, right? Make sure you push back with the torso and head. And then inhale, we'll come back up and release the arm and the torso. Very nice. We're going to start sitting here. So pressing the feet a little further forward, away from the bolster, because we're going to sit down. We want the knees over the ankles. And we're going to work those quads a little bit. So head against the wall, push your torso against the wall, do the best you can. Don't panic, just stay with your breath. Don't think about the tension it's creating. It's on purpose. We're building the strength of our quads. Big inhale, big exhale. Couple more. Good. Last one. And then we're going to sit down over here. So slide yourself against the wall, sweeping and releasing in this way. All right, good. Let's come down onto your hands and knees. And we're going to bring the feet on top of the bolster behind you. And the knees are hip width apart about, hands underneath your shoulders. And then let's move the hips from side to side. So move your hips left and then turn your gaze over your shoulders. See if you can find your hips with your gaze here. So that you're basically squeezing the left side of your torso. Inhale, move to the other side. Exhale, inhale. So we do an inhale and an exhale on one side. Inhale, move to the other side. Inhale, other side, and keep moving with your own breath. Inhale to the right. Exhale and inhale. And exhale. Try to find your hips with your gaze. So you got to squeeze a little harder on one side. My left side I can see. My right side, I cannot see. Where is my hip? And one more on each side. And releasing. Sitting back into your child's pose. So drop the torso, sit back onto your heels. They're up high, which is perfect. And then drop your head all the way down or on your hands, stacked or on a block even. We want a long spine over here. Try to sit your glutes onto your heels. Very nice. We'll come back up. And this time, let's bring the bolster in front of you. So we're going to bring it the long way in front of us. I'm reshaping my bolster. Use a blanket. You might need two. You may need a block as well. So we're going to do a down dog with the head rested on the bolster. I don't think I need the blanket, but I'm going to start with that. I have a block handy. And let's come forward. So hands on either side of your bolster in front of you. And then do your plank if you want to. We don't really need to do the full length of the down dog if you don't want to. So as long as you spread out enough, keep your toes tucked under, and then come on up with your hips, and then drop your head down onto the bolster. So see, for me, the blanket is kind of in the way. I'm going to remove it. You want basically your forehead right at the hairline touching something, bolster, blanket. And then just let yourself rest here. Breathe in and breathe out. Tucking the belly. The lower belly we tuck right above the pubic bone. And then we breathe around the navel area. Pressing your weight back. Releasing the heels on the floor a little bit more. Nice deep breath. Last one. Good. Let's come forward into your plank and then lower down onto the bolster. So make sure you're going to bring your chest beyond the bolster, otherwise your breast will be compressed. Plus we need the legs on the bolster. Hopefully you have a bolster that's a long one, just like this one. If not, you can use two of the shorter version ones. So bringing your forearms on the mat for your Sphinx pose. I take an inhale and an exhale. So we're slightly engaging the legs here. I'm squeezing my glutes slightly and then lifting the heart center, shoulders down and back. Nice. So if your neck was hurting, my neck is fine, you can just bring your hands and hold your head. Sometimes with a brain injury, I did that for many, many years, as a matter of fact. I couldn't hold my head up too long. It just was too tiresome. So I would hold my head in this way with my hands in whatever posture I was doing. I did that quite a bit. So deep breath. And then keep the palms flat. We're going to lift the legs now. So squeeze, keep the knees straight. We're squeezing in the hamstring, the glutes. You're also going to feel your lower back engaged. That's what we want. Keep the squeeze. Use your breath to stay there. Good. Lift the legs slightly more if you feel like you have room. Good. Take one more. Nice. Release the legs open, the knees onto the mat. And then we'll release forward as well. Forehead onto a block or on top of your hands stacked together. Breathe into your spine. Let it regenerate here. We're just letting the tension go. So the blood flow, a new, fresh supply of blood flow is coming into those areas. And that's how we rebuild our cells and renew them. Good, last breath. Very nice. Let's come back center. So bring your legs again close together on top of the bolster, forearms on the mat. You want the elbows underneath the shoulders about for your Sphinx pose. And again, engage here. Keep the feet on the floor. Make sure your chin is not reaching forward. Push it in and back. Big breath. We're going to push against the floor here, straightening the arms. So watch your lower back. It should be okay. Keep the feet on the mat on this one. So this is like a cobra modification on the bolster. Big breath. Keep engaging the legs, the glutes. Plant your tailbone to the bolster and breathe. Good. Deep inhale, deep exhale. Last one. Releasing as you exhale, go down, down, and forehead onto your stacked hand. Legs together to keep them on the bolster on this one. Breathe generously into your lower back, expanding the spine. Just feeling a little bit more harmony within your body, within your mind, and your emotions calming down slightly. Good. Nice deep breath. All right, we'll keep the legs on the bolster. Bring the hands flat on either side of your chest, sort of. And we're going to lift here. So lift on both ends, like a Shalabhasana locust pose. Straighten the legs and lift from the thighs. See if you can lift the thighs a little bit off the bolster. Elbows in and shoulders down and back. Open collarbone here. Do the best you can. All you need is to apply tension and to keep the tension. Doesn't have to be huge. Breathing. Lifting on both sides, the front and back evenly. Keep breathing. Good. One last breath. Nice. We're going to slide on off the bolster on the right side of your torso. Removing blocks here or any obstacles. And then we're going to lie down. Bring your left leg on top of the bolster and bring your blanket underneath your head here. Your right arm is straight in front of you, straight, shooting straight out from the shoulder. Relax your left arm on top of the left side of your torso. Your back should be at rest completely. And just resting, leaning into the bolster with your torso slightly. Breathe in and breathe out. So if you have back issues and you have difficulty sleeping comfortably at night, this is a great position. You just need a pillow or bring your bolster into your bed. And we'll take the left arm up, straight up towards the sky. Take an inhale, and we're going to roll back with the upper torso. Roll back until you find the hand and arm on the floor. Roll your head to your left for your reclined twist. And just relax right here. So you want to touch down with the left shoulder blade on the mat. Breathe openly in that left side of the torso. Good. One last breath. Let's bring your head center facing the ceiling. And we're going to extend the left leg out, straight up to the side. So 90-degree angle, you want to keep the alignment with the hip and the leg, right? Even if your knee is bent, that's fine. But reach through the heel and engage that leg. It's off the floor. The foot is not touching the floor. So your leg is working. Big breath. Big exhale. For those of you who can, we're going to slide the left leg up higher on the bolster and reach the big toe into toe lock with the right hand. And then just applying a little bit more pressure. Otherwise, just stay where you are if this is too hard or too impossible. Breathe in and breathe out. Good. One last breath. Good. Very nice. Release the big toe. Let's bring the left leg up. Inhale. Use your core and the strength of your leg. Bring that left leg up. Roll onto your back. You'll find yourself on the floor. Good. Reaching up with the left leg. The back is pretty much even. Reaching through the heel. Breathe in and breathe out. Good. 2 more breaths. And then we're going to roll back onto the bolster. So let's pull ourselves back center. Again, chest beyond the edge of the bolster. This time we'll move the, removing the props here. This time we'll move the legs wide open. We're straddling the bolster. Flex the feet, the inner part of the feet are on the floor. And then we'll straighten the legs. So bring your blanket right here for your head. And you can add hands on top of that as well. Crocodile pose. Straighten the knees slightly. Only the feet are touching the floor, the knees are off the floor. And breathe into the tension here. You can spread the legs wider if you feel like you have room. Keep the knees as straight as you can. Good, last breath. And we'll release the knees down. So walk the knees up towards you a little bit more with the knees bent. So we're doing a little froggy pose modification here with the bolster underneath us. So it's not as hard. So you can bring those knees up as much as you are comfortable with it, or it's sort of challenging you, but not in a bad way. And just relax right there. Once you're there, drop the tailbone towards the bolster. Try not to lift the tailbone up. And breathe in your lower back, inner thighs. Yeah, just embracing the pose, allowing the body to conform to the new shape that we are asking it to do. We use the breath for that, inhaling through your nose, making your ujjayi sound breath. Exhaling. A couple more. Very nice. Let's bend the knees. Keep the legs wide open and try to touch the toes and the soles of the feet. I'm having a hard time with touching the entire feet there. If you can, just do it. At least try to touch something. The feet might have to be a little higher, and that's probably why. Yeah, there you go. Bring them higher off the floor, on top of the bolster behind you. And then breathe into your sacrum area, into your lower back. You can massage the kidneys in this posture. Good, last breath. All right, we'll release the legs. Bring them straight back again. And then bring them on top of the bolster one more time. Remove your blanket. Forearms on the mat, lift the legs. This time we're going to both push against the floor with the palms flat. The elbows could be bent here depending on your back, and lift the legs behind you. So it's a back bend, shoulders down and back. Breathe in and breathe out. Good. Tailbone down. Try to lift those legs. Keep the pressure going. One more breath. And exhaling, releasing. Yay. All right, let's release on your left side this time. So you're going to roll off the bolster. Bring that blanket and have the arm up and the blanket on top of the arm, or the arm shooting straight out in front of you. So keeping the right knee on top of the bolster, lean into the bolster and just make yourself really comfortable here. It should be very cozy. And just to let the spine rest. Again, breathing deeply. Don't fall back into any shallow breath. This is active. We're actively breathing continuously throughout the class, whether we rest or we are engaging. Good. And then we're going to bring the right arm straight up, pointing towards the ceiling. And then now we're going to roll back with the right arm on the floor and the right shoulder blade. So bring that left arm straight out from the shoulders in a cross. Roll your head right and just, this is a reclined twist. We keep the knee on the bolster. Breathe into the tightness. Good. Let's take 2 breaths. And then turn your head facing the ceiling. We're going to extend the left arm, right leg this time out on top of the bolster. So straight out to your left. Extend it. And then just engage that leg. Keep reaching through the heel to your left. Breathe while you stay passive with the rest of the body. Only the right leg is engaged. Nice. We'll take another breath. So we'll stay here, but for those of you who can do more, we're going to slide that leg a little higher up on the block and reach the big toe into toe lock. And then keep lengthening the leg out. So a little bit more intensive, but a wonderful stretch. So helping the sciatica nerve when you do this, right? This is specific for sciatica nerve. You may not be able to do, if you have sciatica issue, don't force it. You may not be able to do much. You might not be able to straighten the leg completely. That's fine. Just let that leg rest on the bolster. Take another 2 deep breaths. Nice. And then releasing, we're going to bring the right leg up. Inhale. All the way, roll onto your back. Good, lengthening up with the spine, with the back on the floor and the legs straight up. Breathe in and breathe out. Reach that leg straight as best as you can. And then inhale, we'll roll back onto the bolster. Let's come back center. This time we'll sit on the bolster. Have your blanket ready. You might need it for extra height. If you don't need it, you don't worry about it. And then drop over onto the bolster. I'm not going to use it. I'm going to put it beyond. Have your chin on the bolster and just relax here. As long as your head is rested on something, you're good to go. So child's pose with the bolster between your legs and torso. Let the body rest. Try not to fall asleep. Keep the breath going. Good. Last one. All right, very nice. Let's come back up. So staying seated at the edge, the very back end of your bolster with your knees under. We're going to bring the right we're going to bring the right leg over and bring the sole of the foot against the left thigh near the knee, basically. Actually, a little bit higher. You want basically the shin to be aligned with the top of the mat. So yes, so we're doing a hip opener here. All right, so this is where a block would be great to have. So some of you may need to rest the knee onto a block underneath right here. I'm going to keep it right here. I don't think I need it. And then bring your hands forward onto the bolster. Try to not be lopsided in your lower back. It's going to feel awkward, there's no doubt. If you need height, bring the blanket and bring your hands onto it. I'm going to lean in a little bit more. And just let that right knee open to the side. You can flex the right foot here if you want. Lift the chest. You should feel that in all that right hip and the sacral area, the right glute area, even into your lower back, possibly. And then lean in. Those of you who have room, right, we can lean further forward. I'm going to bundle my blanket so I can reach forward with my hands with a little bit of a height. As a matter of fact, I'm going to switch to the block. It will be more even. Yeah. So deep breath in that side of your lower back, hip. Letting the stretch happen. Very nice. Those of you who can, we're going to bring the right elbow onto the bolster at the top. Palms together. So a little bit of a twist here, away from the bent leg, the right leg that is. So elbow onto the top of the bolster, palms together. Bring the chest to the side, towards the left. And then breathe. Let that right hip just release more. Look to your left slightly. Big breath. Big exhale. Good, last one. And then let's come back up. All right. You should feel that right hip pretty good. Let's straighten the right leg on top of the bolster. And you can have a blanket so the foot, actually what you want to do that's best is to bring the knee at the edge of the bolster in front of you so the foot can touch the floor. When you're ready, inhale and come on up. If your knee hurt here, just undo the leg and bring it, you can bring it straight up, foot flat, that would be fine. But if you can do this, just do it. And then we'll lean, reach up towards the sky and exhale, lean forward for a seated forward fold, one leg. Bring your torso on top of the thigh. Bring a blanket to rest your forehead onto. An arm with it. Just bundle yourself up so you can release that head and it's not so far down. You can feel it in your hamstring all the way to your glute. Deep breath. Last breath. Let the torso compress on top of the leg. And then again, I didn't mention it, but we'll do it on the other side. If your torso cannot lean very far and so you're really away from your leg, use a blanket, bundle it up like that, And then use your arms to rest onto. So you want to, it's a passive stretch. So we want to rest onto whatever posture we're in. So we got to find ways to bundle up and to hold the torso, hold the leg with props. Okay, we'll do it on the other side properly if you were stranded here. All right, so let's bring yourself knees bent and then sit all the way at the back of your bolster. You're going to bring the left foot across, so left foot against the right knee. And again, remember, we want that shin to be fairly parallel to the top of your mat over here. So I'm going to lean in. I'll keep my block in front of me. You can have the higher part of the block, right? Use the side that works for you. I may not need that. This side seems a little tighter. So lean in. And you can feel your hip and lower back on that left side working. Breathing in and breathing out. I'm going to lean in even more because actually, yeah, I have the room. Keeping my spine nice and long. Nice deep breath. Good. Reaching forward if you have the room for a little extra stretch. Good. Last breath. And let's come back up. Inhale. All right, we're going to straighten the left leg forward. So scoot forward slightly. So you have your knee right at the edge and the foot is touching the floor. Again, we're going to lean forward over here. So those of you who are not as flexible or whatever's going on with you, maybe you have an injury of some sort, make sure you bring that blanket bundled up, right? So maybe 2 blankets, it depends, and then lean forward and make sure your head rests on something. So you could also use a block right here and then grab the block this way, right? So I don't really need it, but I've done it before because due to when I was peaking with my brain injury, um, I had a lot of difficulties and a lot of limitations. So I had to take the time to reteach my body. So we come forward and we drop. And I'm going to use my blanket here for my head. Breathing in and breathing out continuously. Good. Let's do 2 more breaths. And we'll slowly come back up. Remove your blanket. Remove both legs forward, right? And then reaching forward again. Use your bundle for your blanket, for your torso rather, or for your head. And use a block if you need an extra bulk. Big breath. Seated forward fold. Keep the inner thighs rolling in towards one another. Good. Couple more breaths, everyone. Nice. Last two. And let's come back up. Nice. All right. We're going to set up for our modification shoulder stand with the bolster. So we're going to turn around and face the wall again. So this is a little tricky to get in. You want to use the bolster or 2 blankets if you don't have a bolster, or maybe 3 even blankets. So you want to fold them this way and then stack them on top of each other. And to get in here is a little tricky. You got to sit at the very edge of your bolster with your hip against the wall here, one hip. So I'm sitting on the, I guess it's the left side of my bolster against the wall. My left hip is against the wall as well on this one. And as you roll back and down, you bring the legs up and then bring the legs up and against the wall. So you got to turn at the same time. If you try to come frontal, it's very hard to do. You can try, but that's not the way. It just doesn't really work. So you want to have the lower back cradled with the bolster. I'm going to lift it and bring it a little closer to me. So, and then just release with the legs up. We'll bring we'll grab the head with both hands, lift it slightly and lengthen the neck away from your shoulders and release the head down. Palms can be facing up or on your belly. Close your eyes. Remove glasses. This is going to be our Savasana, corpse pose sort of. Start wiggling your toes, slowly coming back into your body, wiggling your fingers. Take a breath. Roll your head from side to side. You're going to bring the feet onto the wall and soles of feet touching closer to your groins. Bend the knees here. Breathe. And then we'll roll off on one side, all the way off of the bolster completely. Rest in your fetal pose sideways. Let the spine come back into its natural state. Breathe into your lower back. And then let's push off the floor. We'll come seated. Namaste. Thanks for joining me. I hope you like this type of practice. It's perfect for those of you who are maybe elders or just have injuries. And it specifically was developed by me for my brain injury. I know it was a successful class that I taught openly in groups. And so here it is again. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you on the next video.